Wise sayings about life. Money has not made anyone rich. What you can buy with money, you can buy an apartment, but not a home. Watch, but not time. Bed, but not rest. The book, but not the culture. Doctors, but not health. Position, but not reputation. Blood, but not life. Sex, but not love. The best teacher in life school is experience. His watches are expensive, but he explains great. You can't choose how you die and where you die. You can only decide how you will live. Correct yourself before you correct another. Life is a drawing without an eraser. It's your thing when your neighbor's house is on fire. A wound that is hidden, slow and difficult to heal. Beware of haste, because it always leads to remorse. The one who is in a hurry, speaks before he finds out, answers before he realizes, decides before he checks, whether before he becomes convinced of something. Some believe that perseverance strengthens a person, but sometimes it is relentless. Life is hard and demanding, but I'm tougher and more durable. A true exploratory journey does not consist in looking for new landscapes, but in looking at other eyes. You can't go beyond what you don't know. To know what's beyond you, you have to know yourself. When you fall into the water, get angry with yourself, not the stream. The significant problems we face cannot be resolved at the level of thinking that created the problems. Your daily life is your school, your temple and your faith. The spoken word cannot be returned. The already burning stump easily ignites again. Although the snake is small, it hits it with a long stick. If you are able to discern good and bad advice, you do not need advice. The more we say, the less people will remember. Those who know how to speak briefly. As soon as we feel angry during the argument, we no longer argue for the truth, but for ourselves. If you speak, let your words be more valuable than your silence. One is simultaneously burdened and blessed with the great responsibility of free will, freedom of choice. Our future is largely determined by our choices today. We cannot always influence circumstances, but we can choose and choose our answer to what happens. The bad thing about equality is that we only want to equate ourselves with those above us. By exercising our right of choice, we gain the courage to live in this world unhindered. You can't choose how you will feel, but you can choose what to do about it. The giving hand is always above the receiving hand. Those who board the same boat will want the same. An adult man must write to get rid of the poison that has accumulated in him because he did not live as he should. If a man were brave enough to live what he believed in, he would never write down a single word. Henry Miller. Do not worry anxiously for tomorrow, because tomorrow will take care of you. Every day is a lot of trouble for him. Cautious people who think of everything, who anticipate everything, constantly fall into the traps, because to count on difficulties means to create them. After all, the essence of knowing is not whether we lose the game, but how we lose, what we learn, what defeaturing has taught us, and how it changes us. Losing in a certain way means gaining. If you repeat the same, you achieve the same results. Unless you take control of your own life, someone else will. Feeding the hungry, forgiving the insult, and loving the enemy. These are sublime virtues. But what if I find that the poorest beggar and the most shameless daring are in me, and that I need the gift of my own goodness, that I myself am the enemy to be loved? What then? The easiest way to grow as a person is to surround myself with people who are smarter than I am. When the cause ceases, the consequence ceases. Life is like the Olympics. Some trade, others watch, others fight. Every beautiful building is not yet a temple. There are only two things in life. We must die and we must live to death. We design the rest ourselves. God gave us memories so we can have roses in December. Each exit is also an entrance to something else. If you plant poison ivy, you will not pick strawberries from it. If you want to go fast, go alone. The imprints left by man on man are eternal. If you want to go far, go with someone. Life is what you make of it. It always was, always will be. Good opportunities are never lost. Someone will always use those you miss. Every day shapes our lives as running water shapes a stone. All the flowers of the future are in the seed of the present. Little things and little moments are not small. When we eat sweet fruit, it is worth remembering with gratitude the one who planted the fruit. The biggest events are not the loudest, but the quietest hours. The ship is safe at the port, but that is not the reason for its existence. If a hammer is the only tool you have, chances are that all your problems will look like nails. You can't cross the sea by staring at the water. I slept and dreamed that life was a joy. I woke up and discovered that life is service. I gave myself up to serve and realized that service is a joy. When seeking advice, think about accepting it. It matters how well you live, not how long. As soon as you decide to do what you really want to do, you live a different life. Every man is a child of his actions. Before you start defending yourself, have a good listen. Whoever wants to do something finds a way. Who will not find justification? Live day to day and do business by business, and then continue on to what comes after. That makes sense. Don't try to live in the past, present and future all at the same time. He is a successful man who has learned to live only in the present, but is always moving towards what comes after. Never make an important decision unless you have considered at least two choices. It is not so much the ship itself, how skillfully managing the ship, that makes the voyage successful. In this deceptive world, it is unnecessary to take to heart all the misfortunes that happen to us. Be like a torch in the sky, radiating love and light. Imagine 1,000 such torches in the sky, like glowing stars in distant galaxies that you can see on bright nights. You have the same power to radiate love and light, and you should shine like a star the moment you wake up in the morning and by the time you go to sleep. A man full of spirit and in complete solitude has great fun with his thoughts. You will only be able to discover a new sea when you have the courage to lose sight of the coast. Thinking is the job of many, deciding only one. Being poor is not a shame, but it is a shame to do nothing to change that. Patience is power. With time and patience, the mulberry leaf becomes silk.